No, you're a panelist right now. So you have to be an attendee. So I'd have to change you over to attendee. So right now the view you have is the panelist view, which is okay.
You want to switch me quick?
I would have to go off the current.
We don't have time to do that.
We started.
Okay.
But right now, when you want to go to Facebook, you go to Facebook.
All right. Hey, welcome to our 2020 virtual track camp. We are super excited to everyone who joined us. Hopefully we'll get some more throughout the week, but we got a fun week planned. We're going to get 3 workouts in the roller room, which is where we're at currently. And then we'll have a few workouts upstairs in the gym, give you a little blend of what we do here in Champaign and some of the stuff we do upstairs in the weight room will be things you can do at home. We've all had to be creative insofar as accessing different strength training and different exercise modalities. And so hopefully we can offer a little bit of what we've learned and tried and tested. So we got a great week planned as well. We have some presentations. We'll have Chris Peterson joining us tomorrow to talk a little bit about racing chair, how to get fit in a racing chair. Chris has been around since 1984 in this business, so knows a thing or two and a lot on the front end of a lot of leading innovation. We'll also be joined by Susanna Scaroni to talk a little about nutrition and performance, recovery, and for competition. And then Scott Hollenbeck, we are very fortunate to have him join us on Thursday to talk a little bit of tactics, and one of the top tacticians in his day. The guy knew how to win a race and always hit his potential, knew what he was doing. And then we have a nice Q&A at the end of the week with some Paralympians from our program. So that'll just be an opportunity to pick their brains a little bit, have them share their experiences and best practices. We also will have a few of the athletes join to work out with you guys at home. Brian Seaman and Daniel Romanchuk will be on the rollers. Jenna Festmeyer and Ian Wong will be upstairs in the gym. And today we have Aaron Pike, who will be working out with you guys on the roller. So Aaron is a multi-time Paralympian, both in track and field, but also in skiing, Nordic. Had a great season last year, just finished off the podium and at the Boston Marathon, Chicago Marathon, New York City Marathon, made the top 8 in the world in the 1500 meters at the World Championships. I had a great year, great year. I'd have Aaron say something to you, but I don't have a mic on him, so I get to really take command of the conversation. So the idea of today's workout, we're going to put you through a full workout, something that Aaron would do generally during the winter time when we're training, and we'll just talk through it. And he already did push 15 miles about an hour ago, so he's got a little bit of, but he's ready to go. He can handle it. And we'll just talk through, and we'll get you guys through the workout. You make sure you stop when you need to stop. This will be fairly rigorous, not our most demanding workout, but not our easiest either. So hopefully it's a nice moderation of the two extremes. But if you need water, take a break when you need to take a break. If you got a fan on, hopefully you're in air conditioning. It's hot here. I don't know how it is where you're at. So I'm going to wander up here. I'm going to show you just a quick overview of what the workout's going to be, and then we'll get Aaron rolling, and you guys at home as well. Okay, you can hold that. So hopefully you guys can see that. We're going to take you through a warm-up. It'll last about 15 minutes where we're going to do a 3-3-3, and you can see, or maybe not, but we're going to work our way up in intensity from 50 to 60 to 70% of, and RP is just your rate of perceived exertion. So that's just an internal understanding of what your intensity level is. So it's very subjective, but we're going to work our way up. We'll do a minute easy, then we're going to do some accelerations, follow that by a max speed. And from that, we're going to calculate some percentage of that, and that will guide your intensity during the workout. And we'll talk through this as we go through. We're going to do a few 3-minute blocks that are split with a finishing kick. And then we're going to do a longer 8-minute block with the same, but some accelerations built in there. And then finish with some nice accelerations. And hopefully we'll work a little bit on that speed reserve and keep you guys sharp off the tail end. Then a quick cool down, and that'll be it. Super easy, super easy. So we'll have Aaron, he can start rolling right now. And you want to keep your running time on the Wahoo too? So if you guys have any questions, anyone who's now working out, we're going to get it rolling. So here we go. Aaron's going, so you can start your clocks. And if you guys have any questions as we're going, go ahead and push them in, and then we can answer those later on. Or if we get them right now, we can answer them now too. I don't know, but we'll definitely get to those during the presentation time. And so Aaron's just gradually going to build up the intensity. This first block is relatively easy, just about 50% of your RPE. So we use a few different metrics to guide the intensity of the workout. Certainly when we're outside, RPE is one that is a key. We use that indoors as well. And there's different charts that you can use, 0 to 10, 0 to 20. We've just gone to a percentage based on 100%. Not that that's the best way to do it, but it's just what we use in our system. So everybody, the athletes get used to it and have a good understanding of what 70% means relative to their race pace, 85%, and so on. Yep. So we can cross-reference the RPE with velocity, and then heart rate too. And Aaron's got a heart rate band around his bicep, his right bicep. I don't know if that's on camera, but it's just a gray strap. So one of the issues we've run into in the past with heart rate straps that go around the chest is that they're uncomfortable. They can cause abrasions on the sides because they get caught in between the fender and the skin. And then they're oftentimes pretty fickle too in terms of responsiveness just because of the way we're sitting on them. But these newer ones that you can run on the bicep or the forearm, they're really nice and they're consistent, reliable, and work really well. So, so that's another metric and benchmark you can use just to guide that intensity through your training session. The other one that we use on the roller and upon which our training is built is percentage of max speed. And we're going to build that into each warm-up, and we'll get to that after we get our progressively increased efforts in. And then finally, we'll get some accels, and you should be tuned in and ready to go for the warm-up, for the max speed effort. Aaron, what's your time at right now on the stopwatch?
3 minutes right now.
Okay. All right. So we should be bringing up that intensity just a little bit, not too much. Should still be pretty comfortable, but enough that you've got some focus on your effort, and you should be opening up the chest and dusting off the cobwebs a little bit on the arms. So you can see he's maintaining a consistent stroke frequency, right? So he's not doing any type of a cycle of 3 on, 1 off. You can do that, whatever feels comfortable at this point. So now he's going to go into a sequential stroke, maybe a 6-1. Not necessarily anything you need to think about right now. Just use what's comfortable and allows you to gauge that intensity appropriately. So we usually do about, on the rollers, we'll typically run anywhere from a 15 to 20 minute warm up. So not too excessive, but we try to keep it a little bit on the longer end. It's pretty rare that we'll do anything less than 10 minutes, and generally 10 minutes is a little on the short end for us too. If we maybe are doing a workout that's a little lower intensity, maybe just a cleanup session, we may then take just a 10-minute effort just to kind of build into that intensity zone. But that's part of the intent and aim of the warm-up, is that you want to push that body into the intensities that you're going to be experiencing during the training session itself. So, you know, a lighter recovery session may not need as intense of a warm-up, just enough to get yourself in a state in which you can leverage that training session goals. But then for some of the more intense workouts, typically we're going to bring Aaron up into that intensity zone. So we'll have some good accels in today's warm-up because we're going to have some sharper, more acute attacks during the longer sessions. Today's session is not necessarily a workout that we'd find where we're going to spend an extended period of time at a high percentage of max velocity. Rather, we're going to set a baseline speed, and then we're going to target some accelerations off of that. So I consider this workout to be focused on rolling acceleration, and then we'll cap it at the end with some speed reserves. So that's just your ability to hit a high percentage of your max speed in a state of fatigue. So you'd want to train that variable to address end of race attacks, which generally all races are going to come down to a finishing sprint or a finishing kick. So you need to train that and prep the body to be able to do that. So I guess we're in our next session. Are we up at 70% now, Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you should be feeling pretty good. Nice little sweat rolling. Got a nice focus. And just a gradual progressive increase in the warm-up. And we start all of our warm-ups with a progressive intensity increase. And we'll change the duration of those steps. So today we did a 3-3-3 setup. We may do a 5-3-2, a 4-4-4. Just kind of depends on the nature of the workout for the day. And we'll mix it up a little bit later in the week too. Wednesday and Friday we'll have a different warm up. But every warm up that we use has some intention. There's some focus and meaning behind every warm up. We never just take a warm up out of a hat and just use that without having some understanding of how that then integrates and marries to the intent of the day's session. So I'm coming up. He's got about a minute left on the 70%. And then we're going to dial it back down. Take a minute easy. If you need to get a drink of water, go ahead and do that. And we'll just collect ourselves momentarily, and then we'll get into some nice accelerations. So we got about 55 seconds, and then we'll be ready to pull it back. How you feeling, Aaron? I'll relay your, yeah, Aaron's feeling pretty good. Yeah, it's got some drips flowing off the nose. It's probably, yeah, loosening up. Yep, nice. You want to open up the system, yeah, get him nice and ready to go. Good. So he's gradually pulling that heart rate up as he moves through the warm-up. And we got about 5 seconds, and then just ease off a little bit. We got about a minute. Sit up, shake out the arms a little bit if you need to. Grab some bubble. Aaron's got his carbonated water. Yeah. But try some water if you got some water with a little carbohydrate in it too. That's always nice. A little sugar too makes it go down a little bit easier. But
for you to walk through the workout, what you're doing and what's happening next.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So we got about 30 seconds, and then what we're going to do next are a few accelerations. So we're going to get 2 accels where you hit it hard for 15 seconds, 45 seconds easy. And then we're going to go 2 by 20 seconds hard, 40 seconds easy. So 4 minutes total, 2 15-second accels, 2 20-second accels, and we're going on a minute. And so these accels do not have to be at 100%. We're still just warming up, but we're going to go in 5 seconds, and these can be from a roll. So we're going to go ready and go ahead. So we're going to do a hard 15 seconds. Again, don't have to be 100% yet. Just opening up that system still. And he's got 5 seconds left. And we're going 3, 2, 1, and rest. Yep, there we go. So we got one of those down. And as I said, we're going to build into it. So by the third and fourth 20-second accels, then we should be near max effort. But right now, it's just moving up that ladder, just continually progressing and increasing that intensity. So these are good just to wake up the neural system and get that activated, figure out how to get the hand on the hand ring at increasingly faster speeds, and continue to build on that block, that foundational warm-up. So we got 10 seconds, again, just off a roll. And we'll get another 15-second accel, just a touch harder on this one. Bring it up about a degree. All right, ready, go. Another 15 seconds, here we go. See Aaron's picking up that hand speed a little bit and then settling in, trying to drive down the bottom of the ring. Good job. We're going 3, 2, 1, and rest. Very good. That's second accel here. And we got a towel ready to go too when you need it. That looks pretty good. So now we're going to pull it out to about 20 seconds. So you're going to maintain that same intensity a little bit harder, but we're going to move into that 20-second time frame. So these accels are a standard to our warm-up, and we're going to use different duration of accels depending on the nature of the workout. 10 seconds, and we're going to go 20, and then I'll finish my thought. Going in 5 seconds. This one's 20-second accel. This is rolling again. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, we got a nice 20. Aaron's doing a good job of picking up that hand speed to accelerate up to speed, and then just settling in. Settling in. I anticipate he's getting up to about 90% of his max speed right now. 3, 2, 1, stop. All right, 40 seconds. Now you should be feeling a little bit more taxed. Should have got your attention a little bit. A little shorter recovery on this one, then we'll get going again. Another part of these accels is that you have an accumulated fatigue too. So he's carrying a little bit of that fatigue into this last 20-second accel. Is what we want to. That's what we want to accomplish in the warm-up. And we're going to go in 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Last one on the 20-second accel. And 3, 2, 1, go. Pick it up. Now this should be near max effort. So we should be at near race pace right now. And you really want to make it hurt a little bit off the back end of this warm-up. We're finishing up about 5 seconds. That's good. Nice. Okay, stop. Nice. All right, we'll take about a little bit over a minute, probably about 90 seconds, then we're going to grab a max speed. So with these accelerations, we may do some days where we do standing start accelerations, if that's the theme of the workout, where the athletes are going to be doing a little bit more work in the standing start zone. They may be a little bit longer. If we're going to work and do some, maybe we're going to do some hard 2-minute efforts at 85 to 90% of their max speed. We may do some minute hard accels. So what we try to do is we try to match those accelerations into the body of the workout, which it's really, I guess, fairly intuitive and logical, is that you want to match the effort and the intensity of the warm-up with the intensities that you're going to experience during the workout. So so we're going to go in about 30 seconds. So what Aaron's going to do, and what you guys should do at home, is this is going to be an all-out 100% effort trying to hit your max velocity. So hopefully you have some type of metric on some type of technology on your chair that can give you speed as a point of feedback. And if not, that's okay too. Just use your percentage of RP. It should be at 100%. All right, why don't we take let's go another 30 seconds, Aaron, and then we'll get a max speed in. So if you do have speed, we do these off a roll, and all we're trying to do is accomplish, we're going to try to achieve a max speed. And then from that, we're going to calculate the training intensities for the day. So Aaron will go in 10 seconds, and he's going to build into it as he pleases. So it can be a quick build into it. It can be a little bit longer, more progressive, whatever's comfortable. We just want to get that max speed. All right, whenever you're ready, man, go ahead. So you see Aaron's he's going to work himself into it. Gradually picking it up now. Let that wheel roll, find that momentum, and get some speed and carry in that wheel. So now once he gets up to that zone, maybe that 4th gear, now he's really going to start picking up. Try to drive through the back of the ring, push it. Now you can see some nice increase in cadence. Nice. Yeah, you're bottoming out a little bit. You can see that. Need a little more air in that. So you want to put some air in there while we're resting? You're welcome to. So Aaron's going to pull a little air in the tire. So that's another point is the air pressure on the road is probably going to be a little bit lower than what you need on the roller. And if you don't, as Aaron was just experiencing, and you probably can't see him the camera, but he's bottoming out. So there's a deformation of the tire. So as he's pushing down, that tire is compressing. And if you don't have enough air pressure in the tire, you can bottom out, and you can cause some damage to those expensive wheels. So go ahead. I won't talk while you. All right, well, so what I want you to do is take that velocity, and if you can, calculate 75% of that. And that's going to be our target speed. That'll be our foundation speed when we're doing our efforts. What was your max on that, Aaron?
That was 33.8.
33.8, which is a little faster. Our rollers read a little bit faster than what he'd be moving on the track or on the road. So I'm just going to guesstimate on that. So 75% of 33 would be about 20. We'll go 26 miles an hour will be Aaron's baseline speed today. We'll get some air in those tires, give you guys a little more rest at home, and then we'll get our first block in.
Dorian is asking what Aaron is doing on his iPad and what the numbers mean.
Sure. Yeah. All right. Good question, Dorian. So we have a few different data points on the iPad. What he's keying in on is velocity, and so he also has time. He has power, but that's not a metric that we use on the roller frequently. Rather, we use velocity to guide our intensity in training sessions. He also has running time, and I'm not sure what else you have up on your screen, Aaron. That's pretty much it, yeah.
Yep.
We don't, distance speed, no cadence, so, yeah. So anyway, so hopefully you guys have got your calculation of 75% of whatever that max speed is. And it doesn't have to be exact. You can use a calculator if you want, or just average out too. So, but we're going to keep Aaron in about the 75% zone, and you guys as well. And depending on your fitness level too, and your max speed ability, you would have to adjust that. The idea is this is a pace that you can hold for an extended period of time. This would be, for instance, a very comfortable marathon pace effort for Aaron, 75% would be. So typically if we're training, if we're working on stroke efficiency and economy, the idea of a floor to ceiling approach where we're going to try to build some efficiency into his stroke, this would be the effort level that we would be working at. So slightly more intense than a recovery effort, but not so as intense as, say, a hard race pace effort, like an 800-meter intensity. So just a little bit, and we use those velocities and percentage of max speed for all the training we do on the roller. That allows us to be very, very defined and specific. And then we typically will validate that back against heart rate and some other metrics too. So, but that's a great question. Okay, so let's get rolling. We're gonna work into our main blocks here. First one we're going to do is a 3x3 minute, and we're going to hold 75% of that max speed. So for Aaron, it's 26, 27 miles an hour for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. The last 20 seconds is going to be an all-out sprint. So it's 2 minutes and 40 seconds at a very steady effort. Last 20 seconds is going to be a hard sprint. So we're going to go, I'll give you a countdown. We're going to go in about 20 seconds, and we'll get our first 3-minute block in. So we're going in 15 seconds. Here we go. And we'll get rolling. We're going in 5 seconds. So you can work your acceleration and try to hit a nice 2, 1, go. There you go. So settle into that speed. Don't try to take too long to get up to that speed. You don't have to do a hard sprint acceleration to get to that velocity, that's 75%. But do pick it up and try to get it in that zone so you can spend most of that 2 minutes, 40 seconds in that intensity effort. So Aaron's got his speed up. He's settling in. You can see he's doing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stroke sequence. So 5 on, 1 off. And that may change. You may do a 6 on, 1 off. You got to find what's comfortable for you. I have athletes that will do a 2 stroke on, 1 stroke off. Some athletes, one of my former athletes who was here, who I still coach, Josh George, he was typically comfortable and he would do a 1 and 1. So he would do 1 on, 1 off, 1 on, 1 off. And that was just where he was comfortable. He felt like he was able to apply force very efficiently in that way. We got 1 minute down. Coming up on this 2nd minute. Looking good. Yep.
Yeah, he wants to know, do you do similar workouts on the road or does it on the road?
We do. That's a good question. Yeah. So our warm-ups are a little different on the road. That's often dictated by the topography, but we'll typically do the same duration. So about a 15-minute warm-up. And then, but the workouts are very similar. The workouts are very similar, especially on the track, where we have a little bit more control of how we can regulate the intensity and the distance. But even on the road, we still always have some organization and focus and intention for the day. So we're just at 2 minutes. So we're going to have another 40 seconds here, and then we'll grab our last 20 seconds. But our themes are always focused on speed development. So we always keep max velocity at the centerpiece of all of our training, and we devise every workout is orbits around the development of speed. And so even when we develop fitness, we're still anchored to that idea of creating, grabbing more velocity. So we got about 5 seconds here, guys, then we're going to hit our last 20 seconds hard. And we're going to go ready and go. So hit a hard 20 seconds. Think about this as the end of a race. Maybe it's the end of a 400, 800. You're just going to pick up that last 150, 10 seconds. Just trying to drive that up as close as possible to that warm-up max speed. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Nice, nice. So we're going to just take about a minute rest here. Not a super long recovery. If it is the case that that's a little bit too taxing for you, just go ahead and take some extra rest, and you can jump in at any point in the effort. Or if you want to take this intensity block off, you can do that too. Just let your body and your training background guide how much you are able to engage in this workout. So.
Eduardo would like to
Yeah.
know, is this training a no-load roller?
So they're all good questions. So no, actually, Aaron is on one of our rollers. Well, all the rollers that we use have some type of variable load application and input. So Aaron is on one of those rollers now. You can't see it on the camera, but he's running at about a 15% load, I think. That's generally our baseline load that we use. Now you can see there you have 15%. Aaron, you have 15. It doesn't matter necessarily what you're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
10, 15.
10, 15, yep. So that's our general baseline load that we use. That's just what I found to be comparable to when we're pushing out on our track or the road. What I did was, we got 30 seconds more and then we'll get our next block. When I was developing these load generators, I coupled them, meaning I connected them to the roller in such a way so that the baseline was comparable in terms of what the athletes could hit for velocities to what they'd experience on the track. And then from there, then we can increase. So about 15% will give us the same velocities that Aaron would see out on the track. Okay, we're going to our next one. Ready, go. Sorry, I got talking. So we're going to build back into that 75% effort right now. And then once he gets in there, he's going to try to hold that. And so the key really is that if Aaron had his heart rate, when he's running his heart rate, I want him to work as easily as possible to maintain this velocity, right? So, so if we could have Aaron, what's your percentage of heart rate? 77%. Yeah, so we can keep him in that zone. He may see a little drift as he progresses through this effort, but the lower we can keep that heart rate, but maintain the intended velocity, the better, because we want to work on finding efficiencies in the stroke and the way he's interfacing the hand with the hand ring. That's the beauty of this type of training, is that we're not necessarily limiting his ability to hit a sound velocity, but what we're trying to do is create these efficiencies, right? Figuring out a way to manipulate the hand ring and apply force more effectively so that he can go faster at less effort. So we got 1 minute and 15 seconds done. And that's really our goal with these type of efforts, is doing more, achieving more with less effort. We're halfway through. That allows him then to keep those attacks and those speeds and those accels and those surges in his back pocket, so he can use those when he needs them during a race and at the finish. So in any race, whether it's on the track or the road, there's going to be multiple hard surges and accelerations. And in order to be successful at the top level, you need to be able to counter surges. You need to be able to implement attacks when you want to attack. But do that all off a high baseline intensity level. And these workouts train that. So we're coming up on, we got about 30 seconds, then we'll hit our last sprint, I think. I lost track of time because I got talking. Are we good? We're at 2:40, right? 10 minutes? Okay, nice. Oh, that's right, we're going. All right. We got talking. All right, 10 seconds, and we're gonna hit our last one here. 5 seconds, 5 seconds. And 3, 2, 1. All right, hit that last kick. Visualize yourself maybe putting on a little attack in the race, coming out of the corner of a marathon. Good job, 10 seconds. Yeah, hold that attack. Maybe you put a little gap on the pack. You want to make them work hard to get back in. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, 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 good. Nice. And that's key on some of these attacks during the race. It's not that you're going to drop the pack, but you just keep attacking and attacking. You make them work to try to bridge those gaps, and then it's death by 1,000 cuts. And ultimately, when you get to that last kick, then you got a little bit more in the tank. And that's the idea of this training session. So we got about 30 seconds, and we'll get our last 3-minute-er in. And then I talked too much, so we ran out of time. So we're gonna modify the end of this session a little bit so we can still get some of the work in that we intended. Okay, we're going in 20 seconds. 20 seconds, we're gonna get our last 3-minute block in. And 10 seconds, looking good. And we're going in 5, we'll jump back into that 75% here, and in just 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead, Aaron. Looking good. So settle back in, find that nice fidget stroke, so where you're comfortable. Generally, when we do these foundational blocks, they'll be longer than 3 minutes. I pull them back a little bit just for today, but oftentimes those will be more in the 8-minute to 12-minute range. And but rarely will we do a long block where it's just a steady baseline speed. We'll always throw in variation and speed variation in an effort to model what we'll experience in the race. So rarely, if ever, will you compete in a race in which There's not some fluctuation and variation in the velocity. They may all be at high intensity and very fast, but we're going to see those variations. So we train that even in these. After a hard surge, yeah, that's right. So that's the thing too, is you want to be able to move that velocity up, but then move it back into the previous velocity range. So meaning that you don't want to drop too distinctly either. You want to have a baseline velocity, and from that you excel and surge, but always being able to fall back into that baseline velocity comfortably, right? And you also train yourself to recover while you're still maintaining those race pace speeds, or just off race pace speeds. So we got 90 seconds done, and we're going to bring in our next hard surge to finish off. Nice work, nice work. Nice work, keep it up, keep it up. Just finding that nice, comfortable zone. So Aaron's in a 4-1 sequence now. 5-1, sorry. And again, whatever's comfortable. You gotta learn to feel the wheel, and when you're out on the road or the track, you just have to learn and understand the role of the chair. So you don't want to interfere with the chair's forward movement. You want to maximize and leverage that momentum between each stroke. So we're going in 10 seconds, and this is our last 20-second effort. All right, we got going. Go ahead, last one. We'll pick it up here. See, Aaron's putting in, he moves into a different gear in that front end of that acceleration. So he's going to pop, pop, pop. He's going to get that speed up, and then he's going to move into a longer stroke. But even off of this stroke, if he needed to, he could hit a couple hard 3 strokes. All right, you're done. There you go. That's it. That's it, Aaron. You're good. I pushed you too far. I was got to talking. What do we got, 5 minutes in our workout? Matt, 5 minutes? Okay. All right, well, why don't we'll take about a minute, and then we'll just do a nice little cool down, about 4 minutes, and we'll skip the 8 and the 4. You get the gist of what we're working on today.
Talk about the app that Aaron's using to track his session.
Yeah, yep. So he's on. We're using a Wahoo app, which is just the free app that comes with the trainer that we use. That's the one that I've retrofitted to use on our roller, and it's Wahoo. The trainer is a Wahoo kicker, and then the app is just a complimentary app that comes with it, and it gives us all the metrics that we need. So, and it also allows us to adjust the load, so you can go anywhere from 0% to 100%. And that percentage, my understanding, and I may be mistaken, it's just a percentage based on the factory setting for functional threshold power. So we just use that setting. We validated, and we found it to be very consistent roller to roller, kicker to kicker. And we found that it does offer a very consistent load variability day to day and month to month. So we can make comparisons for the athletes, so then they can use their data. And again, we just usually use velocity. But they can use their velocities winter to winter to have some sense of their performance curve, or week to week, month to month. But we key and target off of max velocity, almost exclusively. And then all the intensity zones that we're going to use are all based on that. But we want to get a daily max speed effort. And we do that because of the variability and athlete preparedness. So as an athlete, you may come to training session a little bit more fatigued from a hard workout, or maybe you just had life stress. And so maybe your max speed is a little bit lower today. So we want to adjust the workout to be very specific to how prepared you are to train that day. So that's how we do and we get that metric with a daily max speed effort in the roller room. Outdoors on the track, we're probably not as precise, but on the track we'll use a rolling 400, and we'll calculate that speed and that time to guide the rest of the workout. The road, generally that's just velocity, and again RP. We really use RP extensively as a guide for training intensity and zones for the athlete for each session. So I think that's key and critical as an athlete to get a sense and understanding of what 70% means, 80%, 90%, and so on, and then be able to tag that onto race pace intensities. And you'll if you're just getting into using RP, it'll take a while for you to do that. So when I have athletes who come as freshmen, generally they don't quite understand what 70% means or 80%, and that's okay. But by the time you get to being more advanced, if you've been with me 4 years, we got 1 minute, and even someone like Aaron, I can give him a target RP and I can take his cat eye, his Garmin off his frame if we're on the track, and I can tell him I want you to run 70% effort and run a 53-second quarter, and he'll basically be right there. Like he has an innate understanding of what those zones are. Okay, so we're finishing up with our first workout here, and then we're going to go and we're going to do a presentation today. We're going to talk about seating position and the stroke. So we'll take a 15-minute break to get things set up, and then we'll see hopefully you guys if you want to join us, and then coaches, administrators, and whoever else. Parents, whoever wants to jump on, we'll enjoy it. So thanks, Aaron. You look great. Got some sweat going. And we'll see you guys in 15.